Hello traders, Gary Wagner here. It is Tuesday, the 3rd day of July, 2012, approximately 11:30 in Honolulu, 5:30 in New York City. And this is the daily report for gold and silver. And oh, what a day we are having. Strong double-digit upside moves in both gold and silver today are really the best way to characterize the price move that we're currently witnessing. Closed for the morning session up 1980, 1.24% in gold. As you can see, 16.25. That is going to be the bid, and 16.17 is the ask. Silver, as you can see, a 2.8% gain, and that's following a 5% gain that we saw the other day, up 77 cents at 28.39 and 28.29 bid-ask spread. My current screen is showing 28.15 on the close. Traders, I wanted to start off this special report today looking at a daily chart. This is cash gold, Henkin Ashi format. If you recall, yesterday we talked about a couple of key areas that we felt if the market continues to move up, we should look for potential resistance points at those particular landmarks, so to speak. Now, I am certainly surprised that we have seen this market travel higher so quickly. But the news out is Thursday there is a European Union Central Bank meeting, and the belief is to kickstart the EU's economy. There will probably be some sort of monetary easing policy addressed, discussed, or at least begun in terms of the implementation from Thursday's meeting. That is the premium that we're seeing get factored into the market. If in fact we see that result, meaning that the European central banks in fact do have a monetary easing strategy, then I think we're going to see the market, which has already factored this move, pretty much be flat to run a little bit higher. If there is no announcement, I think we'll see the premium come out. Can't tell what the future is going to bring, but I can tell you that I do believe we will probably see that sort of a reaction. We are looking at a very short-term chart. This is August gold off of the COMEX, and it is in straight Henkin Ashi format. You looked at the market in terms of a signal itself, roughly at 1570, 1568. And what you can see when we look at the chart in this way is this was really part of the compelling evidence that really triggered that buy signal was this nice Henkin Ashi rally in terms of green candles, nice body size, absence of lower wick. So we entered the trade, as I said, roughly 1570, 1568. The market continues to move higher, finds its first, call it real psychological level of resistance at about 1600. This is 1600 right in here. Try to line that up straight. And as you can see, it tests it. First occasion. This is simply called a scouting party. This term was labeled by Steve Nissan. And in essence, what happens is when the markets are moving, making new highs, not contract highs, but new highs relative to where it's been trading, the bulls are really testing the fortitude of the bears here. Some selling comes in. You can see that we get real good support right around 1590 once again. And then we have this real solid breakout to the upside. And we found a little bit of resistance once again right here at about 1625. And you can see on the short-term candlestick Henkin Ashis, we have gone red again, so we might see the market actually retrace a little bit from here. Now, where would it retrace if in fact that happened? All I have done is simply added a Fibonacci retracement sequence, very, very short term, as you can see. I will line it up a little bit better, but it starts down here at the bottom, roughly in the 1550 area, up to about 1625, a 23% retracement. If in fact the market does begin to retrace at all, will take you back just above 1600, 1608, 1595. That is the 38% retracement. And oddly enough, you get all of this congestion right here precisely at that 38% level. That's why I find Fibonacci so fascinating. Now traders, if by chance we do in fact get some sort of a pullback, and let me line these up so we can get a little bit more precise on our pricing, but if by chance we do get a pullback, I would look to add a second leg to that position, roughly at around 1600, see how it reacts there, and then also just below 1600, 1595. In other words, it would not surprise me on a minor count if we were looking at a marketplace that in essence gave us a 5 count or a 3 count. 1, 2, this would be our third, fourth, and then a final fifth wave up on the minor count. So for traders that have been waiting to enter this market who haven't entered yet, we'll look for a pullback for that. For those that are sitting long on our current position, what we will look for is to simply add to that position. Traders, lastly, let's take a look at the silver market. Incredible upside burst has been witnessed over the last couple of trading days. Let's go ahead, daily chart, straight candlestick format. First, we'll go ahead and just blow that up. You can see this kind of a dynamic move that we had, I believe, a 5% gain, almost a 3% gain on today's trading. And also, when we convert this daily chart into our Henkin Ashi, we are really seeing some very clear-cut signals in terms of how this last corrective period kind of concluded and this rally began. For those of you who have been with me for quite some time, you know I go over this almost on a consistent basis because it does seem to have some strong validity. And that is, as a market trades lower on the Henkin Ashis, as long as the trend is pretty strong, you get a large body size and increasing body size. You also begin to get an absence of these upper wicks. Now, what does that mean? What a Henkin Ashi chart does is it takes the open, and the open is actually fixed from the prior session, in this case the prior day's midpoint. So what the lack of tails simply says mathematically is the marketplace, as it moved down, never traded above or at the midpoint. In the same way, when the markets begin to move up, we look for one, large body size and the absence of lower wicks, because the lower wicks are telling us that the market never went below the midpoint of the prior day. So we've got that also. And lastly, you can see this pivotal doji candle right in the apex or the V-shape, the bottom of that V-shape as the market begins to move back up. That is our consolidating and pivotal point or pivot candle on a Henkin Ashi. Traders, for those of you in the mainland, have a great 4th of July. For those around the world, we all have a reason to celebrate freedom. This has been Gary Wagner, wishing you as always good trading. We'll talk to you after Independence Day, July 5th, 2012. Bye-bye.